When managers are not abiding by the RTO policy and they're letting their team have that flexibility, um, it does help the organization, okay? And it also hurts the organization. So let's talk about that. I think it helps the organization because it gives them an indication that the policy is not working. So something needs to be done about it. Okay. And it hurts the organization because it reflects poorly on the leadership's decision. I think HR should definitely care because HR people are the human resource experts. So they should care and they should figure out, and they should figure out by working with the managers and the top managers that why this is not working and what can be done to improve this situation. How can we refine the policy? So HR should definitely care. Okay, they got to care for the employees. Yes, they got to take the policy from the top managers and implement those policies or communicate the policies to the first line managers or the middle managers, right? But they should care why this isn't working and then what is it that they need to do in order to refine this policy and make this work or change things here, whatever works best for the employees, right? So I think HR should care because they're the experts. I think one thing, they should not force the managers that they got to implement this policy. Okay, I think the steps that they can take, they need to sit down with the managers and figure out like, okay, what is going on? Why aren't they abiding by the policy? And then listen to the managers and then work with them on like, okay, if managers say, some of my employees do need flexibility or whatever for personal reasons or whatever is going on, so they need to work with them. I think what HR managers can do, they can talk to the top managers that we need to give authority and we need to empower the first line managers, the front line managers, so they decide whatever policy is going to work for their team because frontline managers know what the employees need, right? Whoever is on their team, they know that, what they need or what their needs are or whatever the issues are, right? So I think HR managers should support this, that the frontline managers, first line managers, they need to be empowered and they should be creating and refining a policy like particular to their immediate group, their team. So I think this is what they need to do. I think the biggest challenge for HR managers is that when managers are not abiding by this policy, right? And then companies trying to force them to do that, the managers are going to be frustrated. The employees are going to be frustrated. There's going to be stress in the organization. It's going to create culture of toxicity. People are upset or they're stressed, they got to figure out their lives and manage their lives. So I think that's one of the biggest challenges for HR managers, that their employees are not happy, and I'm sure the top managers they have issued the policy. And when they find out that, okay, managers are not abiding by the policy, they're not happy. So these are the challenges for HR managers. So they need to tackle those challenges. They need to help reduce that stress in the organization and find ways where both sides are in the end, they're okay with whatever we implement. Top managers need to understand why why the frontline managers are doing that, and HR managers are in between the employees, the first line managers and the employees and the team leads and the top managers. So I think that's one of the biggest challenges for them, that what's happening here, there's frustration, there's stress in the organization. People are not going to be happy when there's stress. It's going to affect them mentally, physically, not good for any of us, right? So I think that's the biggest challenge for them. what is wrong with being empathetic and providing flexibility to your team? What is wrong with that? Why would we terminate anybody? Why would we take the promotion away? Why don't we spend our energies figuring out, okay, what's going on? Managers, obviously, they're making that decision where they're letting people work from home 2 days, 3 days, or 4 days, whatever the hybrid program is or whatever. There has to be some reason, right? So why should anyone be punished? It shouldn't be command and control. We don't need that kind of leadership, right? We need to empower our employees so we can be productive and achieve our goals, right? So why should we be terminating the managers if they're not abiding by the policy? What is this? Is some kind of a prison here that, you're like using this hammer and like telling people, we are forcing you and you got to do this, right? Why aren't we listening to people? What's wrong with being empathetic and providing flexibility to people? What is wrong with that? I mean, that's my question here now. And I'll also tell you, Don, I have heard from a lot of people in the last few weeks who actually were given these types of warnings and they have resigned from their positions. And they're like, we don't care. We'll find something else. So it's happening on both sides, actually. But the thing is, why are we doing this power play? What happens is that people in power position, and they're like, you better listen to me and better obey my order. Why? What is wrong with being empathetic? What is wrong if an employee needs to work 2 days or 3 days because of the childcare or because of the elderly care or because of something else happening? If they are meeting the goals, if they are completing all the KPIs, whatever they're supposed to do. And I think that's where HR can come in and help each group, because the top managers on the top, right? They're about strategies and all that. They issue the orders. They're not going to work one-on-one with first line managers. That's where I think HR can come and help. But I think there is nothing wrong with being empathetic here. Why? I mean, why should we be doing that to people? Why should we be taking promotions away or firing people on account of this?